Well, hey, friends, it's Rhonda. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. We're going to be talking about a topic that's a little near and dear to my heart. One of my core values, you've heard me talk about this before, but one of my core values is customer service. And that means, really translated, is I want every single person that we interact with to have the best possible experience that they can. Now, we're not perfect. We're human over here, but we really strive to do that. And when I had my brick and mortar practice and now with a virtual practice, I try so hard to make sure that happens because it's really important to me that people feel valued and cared for and that they're just like, I want people to feel like they're the most important person in my world. Like that's just what I love. And I know I can't do it for all of you, but you just got to know you really are my most important people. And so this whole conversation about how to create an exceptional customer experience, translated patient experience or client experience, but we'll just call them customers, but how to curate. It's a curation. I want you to think about that. Like think of a charcuterie board, right? What is a charcuterie board got? All kinds of different things, different tastes, different textures, different cheeses and meats and grapes and olives and all the things. And so when you curate, keyword, curate an amazing experience for your patients, I'm talking about how do you go above and beyond? If you have an onboarding series, a new patient onboarding series, like an email series, I highly recommend those. That you just have 3 or 4 emails that you send out that maybe just has little bits of information that help them get more comfortable with your practice, or maybe they just have little tips and things, videos about something they may want to know, or like your top your favorite smoothie, let's say, and you just send them a video about how to make it, or your best favorite dinner recipe, or whatever you want to do, you want to make that experience, make it easier and better for them. That's all wonderful. But beyond all of that, how do you create just an exceptional experience for them that is really going above and beyond anything that they would expect? It's a bit of the surprise and delight factor. So going above and beyond means that there's a lot of surprise and delight involved. So in general, patients are going to be happy. You could just show up and be a very kind human being, get them better, and they're going to be happy. They're happy to pay you the money. They're happy to take the supplements, and they're going to go off into their happy wild yonder, right? Off they go. But what if you go so far above and beyond that they can't stop talking about their experience with you? That's what I'm after here. I want them saying, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe what just happened." You want to create that type of experience. So I'm going to give you a few things to think about, 5 things today, super easy. And I want you to consider as part of curating this going above and beyond exceptional experience for your patients, because remember that they're consumers. At the end of the day, they're consumers. And if you don't treat them well, you don't answer their questions, you don't get back to them on time, et cetera, they're going to leave and go somewhere else. And they're going to talk crap about you. And that is not the kind of reputation that you want to build at all. I mean, if it is, then I'm probably not your person, because that's not what I want for me. And it's definitely not what I want for you. So here are my 5 things that we're going to talk about today for you to create just a super exceptional customer experience. But these are things that are going to be going above and beyond. So number 1, pretty obvious, this first one is make a personal phone call to check on them, especially when you know that there's some kind of challenging life situation going on. This doesn't take it takes a minute or 2 minutes of your time. It's not a thing. I don't want you to get overwhelmed like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do that. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. We're building a business here. Come on, pony up. Let's go. So I want you to create some kind of a system, a reminder system, something like that, where you jot down something that's personal. Let's say a parent is dying of cancer, or they recently, lost a dog, or something that happened in their life that you just came up in conversation while you're talking with them during an appointment. And you just think, oh, that's in your mind. You're thinking, oh, that's the perfect thing for me to go make that personal phone call. So you jot a little note down, and in 3 or 4 days, you just call them. Even if you leave a message, it's no problem. And you just call and say, hey, Mary, this is, Rhonda, Dr. Rhonda. I'm just calling because I want you to know I've just been thinking about you. And I wanted to see how you guys are doing. I know this losing your most cherished family pet has been such a hard thing. And I know what that feels like. And I'm just so sorry. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. And if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. So simple for you to do. They are off after they leave your office, they're off doing their own thing. But then you just come like swooping right in. You interrupt that daily, programming that's going on in their head with their day-to-day life. And you come in and just say, hey, I care about you. I'm thinking about you. And I just want you to know that, I got you. That's all. It is such an over and above and going beyond. It's not at all what they expect because it's not has anything to do with their care. That's the great part. It doesn't have anything to do with, listen, how's your constipation? That doesn't count. What counts is something that's personal, meaningful. Maybe they just got married, or maybe they have an anniversary coming up, or maybe they told you about like a child, one of their kids' is like first birthday. So go on Amazon and order a gift and have it delivered to their house, a little something for the 1-year-old. Are you kidding me? That patient's going to be your patient forever. And they're going to tell everybody they know that Dr. Rhonda sent them, their child, a little gift for the birthday, or I dropped it off at their house or something. I mean, it's the little things that don't cost much, but a little bit of thought, maybe a little bit of planning, and they make such a huge difference. You will make the most raving, loyal fans that will talk about you. They'll tell all their friends. That's the kind of press you want, right? That's what we want. First, so that's number one. Do something personal. I should probably phrase it that way. Make a personal phone call, send a gift, send flowers, do something that's very personal with something that they talk to you about or something you know about them that has nothing to do with their care with you. Number two, have a stack of note cards handy. And I recommend that you just get some simple note cards. You can get them on Vistaprint or some of the other places, and they just can have your name on the front, or, the ones that I have just say, just a note to say, dot, and then you open it up inside and it's blank. And then I just write in what I want to write. So you just have some note cards. If you don't have them, just go to the store and buy some. I have a box of real nice flowery ones that I send to all my lady people because they like the flowers. And I have a different box that are not my branded ones that I'll send to my male patients if I'm going to do this. So just have something handy. And you're going to just write a little handwritten note that just says, listen, I'm so proud of the progress that you're making. The notes can be they could be about something that's personal going on in their life, but it can also be about their care with you. I know that, liquid herbal blend that I gave you wasn't your favorite thing to taste, but I just want you to know that I'm excited and I know it's going to help you. So hang in there, girl. You got this. That right there, game changer. Game changer, going above and beyond. All you're doing is just letting them know how much you appreciate them. You're just giving them a little bit of encouragement. You got it. You go, girl. Like, I got your back, that kind of thing. Pop it in the envelope, address it, and it's out the door. When I had my paper files, this was years ago, when I was still paper filing, doing my notes on paper, I had my office manager, actually, she would address the card with their address. She put a stamp on it. So I got the envelope and the card in the file. And so as soon as I was done with the patient and I took the file back to my office to finish my notes, I just filled out the card right then. And she knew to wait 2 days so she waited 2 days and then she sent it because I didn't want it to get to them the very next day. It felt like it was too planned then. So I had her wait and then it showed up at their house, 3 or 4 days later. It was perfect timing. So there it is. Number one is a personal phone call. Number two is a note card. Number three is the key to everybody's heart, and that is food. Now, I know we want them to eat healthy. So this is a great opportunity for you to go above and beyond by helping them experience new things, new foods that they may not have tried or have, had exposure to. So you can offer practice approved snacks. So if you are a paleo kind of person, you love, have your patients do a paleo type diet, then great, paleo snacks. If you're a keto person, keto snack. I don't care. Choose whatever's practice approved, whatever works for your practice. The other thing you can do is if you have like a new recipe that you're trying, make some, bring it into the office and try it out. Let your patients sample it when they come in. Maybe it's like a cup of warm bone broth. You made some bone broth or you bought some of your favorite bone broth. So you offer them that. Maybe it's a sample of some fermented foods or a paleo-friendly cookie. or, some kind of like, there's lots of paleo fudge that you can make around the holidays. I love fudge. Used to be one of my very addictive foods in my far long ago past. In fact, I was just somewhere, I was just in North Carolina about a week ago, and I walked through a gift shop. Oh man, old habits die hard. And I walked past this thing and they had this like fudge and it had walnuts in it. And I picked it up. I haven't told anybody this. You guys are hearing this for the first time. I haven't even told my husband. I picked up the container of fudge. I'm by myself, i.e., like I'm not by myself, but no one knows. I'm by myself. I'm at this super fancy hotel and I'm in this gift shop and they have this like local crafted homemade fudge with walnuts and a lot of walnuts. It's my favorite. And I picked that thing up with full intent of buying it and eating some of it. And at the end, I finally got a hold of myself and said, girl, this is not in alignment with who you are. This is not in alignment with who you want to be. Therefore, you need to put this back. And I had to have this conversation with myself. And yes, I put it back. But the fact that I picked it up and carried it around, old habits die hard. So whatever it is that you want to feed your patients, feed them some comfort food, make it really comfortable and warm and cozy for them, but give them an experience with food because food is often the point where they struggle. They don't know what to eat. Maybe if you're making smoothies, make a smoothie and just hand out smoothies that day. Don't worry about the health department. You're just letting them have a taste. Don't even go there, but just make sure it's clean and everything's good. But just give them food. Food speaks to everybody's heart. Number 4, I kind of like this idea. It's a cool one. I call it walk with the doc. And what that means is every month that you just host a walk with the doc. And it's a little harder to do in the wintertime unless you live in the South. But this is where you invite them to just come on a little walk with you. And you're just going to kind of have a casual ask me anything conversation. You're walking. You're encouraging them to get exercise. You're getting exercise. Maybe y'all bundle up and you go out and you do something in the snow or something, but walk with the doc. And they just get to come and interact with you as they're walking along. They're meeting new people, forming friendships. Maybe they bring a friend because a friend wants to ask you questions. And it can be very casual and informal. Don't feel like you have to talk all about blood sugar and insulin resistance. So that's not what it is. You're just going to be casual, encourage them to get some exercise, but they also get to just chat with you. So walk with the doc. I really love that kind of going above and beyond. It's something outside of work. It doesn't have to be about work related topic. Like they could ask you, what your favorite vacation is, or you're just connecting as a human being, really. And then lastly, I love this idea as well. And this one is going to cost you a little bit of money, but not much. So we want to keep this, inexpensive because we do have to run a profitable business. But you could consider just sending them a small, health related book or some other gift that might help them be more successful in their journey with you. So it kind of depends on your niche, your practice, what would be appropriate for them. But it speaks volumes about your commitment to their success. You can add a paleo friendly snack to your book. You could put in some little swag items. You could do whatever you want, but there's some small little paperback books that you can order on Amazon, or you can get them, from a publisher if you order in larger quantities. And just have a little padded envelope or a little small box that you put it in, and you just mail it to them, let's say 1 month after they start with you. And you just put a little handwritten note in there, but it's that surprise and delight. They would never expect to receive anything like that from you. So I'll give you an example from this just happened to me this past week. I hired an interior designer to help me do some very minor design changes in my brick and mortar practice in Seattle. And I signed the contract with them. I know what the cost is going to be. They're just going to help me. It's a long distance thing. So we're doing all of this virtually. And I'm so excited about it. In fact, I recorded a podcast episode about this, and we're actually going to do before and after, because this company, they work a lot with chiropractic offices, that type of office. So I'm not that, but that I said, listen, I want to do a before and after with you. So I'm good. I've signed everything, paid my deposit. I'm good. I'm cruising along, excited about our meeting. And I get this box from them, and I can see it's from them. It's a little white box, doesn't have anything fancy on it, just a shipping label on there. And I open up the box. I'm like, what are they sending me? And I open up the box and I have a book. It's a book with a CD. And let me see, I have the book right here. I'm going to tell you what the title is. The title is The Strangest Secret: How to Live the Life You Desire by Earl Nightingale. I'll put a link to it in the show notes. And I started to just glance through it. It's a super easy read. And I thought, wow, how thoughtful was that? And also inside the box, so there's some black crinkle paper in there. The book was laying on the top. And also in the box were 2 small packages of Orchard Valley nut mix. So they sent me some healthy food. There were some lifesavers in there. And then 2 little tape measures that are branded with their brand. They're little like keychain tape measures. This is the cutest little thing I've ever seen. It's just a little keychain thing, tape measure. And of course, I mean, how appropriate is that? They're a interior design company. Of course, the tape measure is going to be like, was perfectly branded to what they do. So you could make a little bit of an investment and get a few swag items. Swag just means like the little tape measuring things, but get a few swag items and just put them in there. And maybe it's like a little notepad or a refrigerator magnet that's a shopping list and it has your brand on it, or just something, some little something that you can send them that's just a surprise and delight. They just get some little treat in the mail. They go, "Oh, that was so nice." Now, if it hangs on the refrigerator or they've got the little magnet on their your keychain, or the little, I've got this little tape measure on my keychain, like people are going to talk about it. They're going to ask questions. It's just such a great way to advertise. But the more important thing is that they will talk about you because you went above and beyond, outside the box of what they would have expected you to do, just to help them with their constipation or help them with their, headaches or help them with their hormones. You are going above and beyond and doing things that no one else has ever done for them. Their conventional doctors aren't doing this stuff. I can guarantee you that. The more that you can offer up that surprise and delight, the better you're going to have with a relationship with them, but you're also going to get so many more referrals because they're going to be talking about you. So, all right, here's your action steps. This is what I want you to do. I know 2 weeks in a row, I'm giving you action steps, but here they are. You ready? Number 1, I want you to pick one thing to do of the 5. Okay. I don't care which one it is: phone call, handwritten note, food samples, walk with the doc, and then, or send a little box, gift something. So pick one thing and pick the easiest thing. I always say start with the easy things. So choose the one thing. Order any supplies that you need. So if you're going to send the box, then get the supplies. If you're going to do note cards, order the note cards. If you're going to make a phone call, kind of set up your system so you have everything that you need. Like where does your note go about that patient? Like get yourself set up. So order your supplies, get your step by step. Like, okay, on this day, I'm going to call them, or on this day, I'm going to send them the box, or these are the 3rd Tuesday of the month, we're going to have a walk with the doc. Get the system set up and get those step-by-steps happening so that you've got a process. And this also helps you delegate in the future if you need to. And then lastly, just create structure around your system. So remember I said that for me, I think that was in another podcast, but I sometimes will say, "Oh, I'll send that to you." And then I don't write it down because I don't have my planner right next to me. And if I have my planner, I'll write it in my planner and then I'm good. I'm good. If it's in my planner, it gets done. I use a Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt. And if it's in my planner, I get it done. But if I forget to write it down because I don't have my planner by me, then it's not going to get done. So my habit is I never go anywhere without my planner, and it has to be open with a pen on it. And that's just my system. What works for me. So create the system in your world that will work well for you. And that way you can make sure that you can execute on your surprise and delight campaign to be able to wow your patients, get them just wildly talking about you. And you'll get so many referrals that way because people want to be seen and heard and valued and treated like they are the most important person in the world. They want to know that they are your number one. And you got lots of number ones, just like all y'all are my number ones. I've got lots of number ones, but I want every interaction to feel like that is the number one for right then, which it is. And this surprise and delight, like going above and beyond, is how you wow your patients. You'll create lifetime patients and unbelievable referrals. All right, friend, that's all I got for you this week. I hope this was super helpful. If you love the podcast, please take a minute and write that quick review, rate, review, subscribe. And if you want more tips like this, just like I've said before, go to rondanelson.com/join, and you can get on my email list. I will not spam you. I do not give your information away, but I do want to give you health related tips and business building tips that will help you grow a better practice, serve more people, and make an income that you deserve and you love. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon.